This is the C&L Dual Exhaust System with the polished tips, and it's available for all 2019 to 2024 5.7 powered Ram 1500s equipped with the factory dual exhaust. Now, it's going to be a great system for Ram owners out there who are looking to add a little bit more bark, a little bit more sound to their rigs, along with a full stainless build and a slightly more modified look, all at an extremely affordable price point. Getting right into the sound you can expect with the C&L bolted up, and again, this is going to be a subtle increase in bark overall for your Ram, especially when compared to some of the other more aggressive systems on the site that tend to dominate the category. Now, I don't really think that's a bad thing per se. In fact, I think a lot of truck owners out there are probably craving just a little bit more volume over the factory system, but don't necessarily need or want the loudest truck on the block or drive the family crazy on long road trips. If that sounds like you, then the C&L might be worth a look. So, breaking out my wake the neighbor scale, guys, I'm gonna go strong 2 out of 5 on my 1 to 5 or 1 to wake the neighbor scale. Yes, again, this does not sound stock. You can tell something's back there, but it's certainly not crazy or over the top. Now, in addition to that, guys, things do remain really mellow on the inside of the cab while cruising, and that is another nice thing to point out here with the C&L in place. Moving into our construction block, and realistically, this could easily be another feature here at the C&L, as this is going to deliver a full stainless steel build, but at a super affordable price point. Now, a majority of the system is going to be made from that durable 409 grade stainless steel, and that does include things like the combination of the 3-inch and 2.5-inch mandrel bent tubing, which does lead straight into and out of that free-flowing, straight-through oval design muffler, complete with an internal perforated tube design. I like that design for an exhaust system because it still allows for a nice deep tone overall, and it kind of takes off some of the rasp or bite with the tone when you get into the revs a bit. Now, the tips, on the other hand, these are actually going to be made from that premium 304 grade stainless steel. That's always a nice thing to point out because, let's face it, you're going to be seeing the most of these as opposed to all of this. 409 is still going to do a great job at reducing or resisting corrosion long term, but the 304 is almost impervious to it. Now, as you can see, these are going to be more of that traditional polished tip here, but if you'd like, you can grab this system with a more aggressive black tip if you preferred, at the same price point here at AmericanTrucks. Now, finally, guys, the C&L does include all of your hangers located in the factory positions, of course, and all of your clamps and hardware needed for a rather painless install. Moving into our pricing segment, guys, and as we mentioned earlier, incredibly appealing for the more budget-minded Ram owners out there, as the C&L and its full stainless build will land around that mid $600 price range, making this one of the most affordable full stainless steel catbacks on the site at this time for your newer 5.7 Ram at home. All right, last but not least, let's talk install, and you'll be happy to know that the C&L will be a 100% bolt-on job, no cutting, no permanent modification. So therefore, site's gonna call this a solid 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, taking you roughly 2 hours or so to complete from start to finish. Now, to give you a better idea of how this one might go down on your Ram at home, let's throw it out to the shop for our detailed walkthrough and tool breakdown.
First install, you need a 3/8 impact and ratchet, 16, 15, and 13 millimeter socket, an exhaust hanger tool, and also not shown be a lift and pull jack. All right, today we're gonna be installing an exhaust on our Ram. First, we're gonna watch a quick video how to uninstall a stock system, then we'll come back here to install the new one.
First step here, we're gonna grab our hanger removal tool and pop the hanger off right above our resonator on our passenger side tailpipe. The driver's side tailpipe is one piece all the way back to the muffler inlet, so we're gonna attack that later. So for right now, we're gonna do this, and I've lubricated it with WD-40. That makes life a little bit easier. All right, next step, grab your ratchet and your 15 millimeter deep socket, and we're gonna loosen up the clamp holding the tailpipe to the rest of the exhaust assembly. All right, hanger's out of position, clamp is loosened up, let's get this exhaust pipe off. All right, so at this point, we're gonna focus on our driver's side tailpipe. Now, like I said, it's all one piece. I have a pull jack here right behind the resonator just to give it some support once we start disconnecting things. I am gonna remove this tip, however. Removing this tip gives you another foot, maybe foot and a few inches of extra space that you don't have to worry about feeding out of the frame. So we're gonna take this guy off with a 13mm socket. Next, we can pop the hanger out of the isolator using our hanger removal tool right above that resonator. All right, so now we can disconnect the hangers right above the muffler outlet. There's one on each side. Grab your hanger removal tool and get these guys off. Now, as you can see, I have a pole jack here supporting this as well. So we have two different points of support for this exhaust. Now for this one, it's tough to get the hanger removal tool in here, so I'm going to use my pry bar to get this guy off. All right, so next up, we're going to focus on this flange here. Now you could bypass this and go straight back to the cat, but that's a lot of exhaust to take off in one piece, so I'm going to separate it here. Now once we have this taken care of, there is one more hanger to remove, but for now, grab your 16mm socket and disconnect these two bolts. All right, now when you pop this guy out of the hanger isolator, this is all gonna come loose, so you wanna be prepared for that. Before we do so, there's a ground strap here. I'm just gonna disconnect that from the factory tubing. All right, so that way it dangles here and we can reconnect it to our new exhaust later. So now we can grab our hanger removal tool and pop that guy off. All right, now you can take this exhaust off.
So we're gonna start off by putting our muffler assembly up. You'll see it has our 3 hangers on it, our 2 here, one in the front by our flange. We'll get this up in place. The 2 in the rear. All right, I'm just gonna need to use my exhaust hanger tool to pop this off, just to help get this on. So up at our flange here, we're going to be reusing our factory 16mm bolts. We'll get those threaded in. Grab our ratchet 16mm socket and tighten that down. So we're going to continue along on our passenger side here. Now our pipe ends right above the axle here, right above this frame. So we're going to get this up here. I have our clamp already on. So I'm going to get this started and see if we can get it in our isolator at the same time. I'll make sure that's seated all the way. We can go ahead and get our driver's side installed. So our driver's side is a 2-piece section in the back, so we're gonna get our smaller pipe. I have one of our clamps, I'm gonna drop it over our muffler section and just get this set in place. All the way down, and we can go ahead and get our second section on. So we just have our last section of pipe here. We're gonna have one of our 2.5-inch clamps. Try getting this in our isolator first, and then slide the pipe in. All right, so we're gonna grab our impact and 15mm socket and tighten down our clamps just as needed. We're gonna get this in position and tighten this down. Bring our other clamp up for the driver's side and tighten that down. And then our last clamp on our driver's side here. Last thing we need to do is put our tips on. So we have our 2.5-inch clamp over. So slide that on and adjust it to how far you want it in or out. Put ours right about there. Grab our impact 15mm socket, tighten that down. Now you just go ahead and repeat the same thing for the other tip. And that wraps up our install of our C&L Dual Exhaust System with polished tips for a rear exit for a 2019 to 24 5.7 liter Ram 1500 with factory dual exhaust. And remember, for everything Ram, keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.